Hello and welcome. I am the Scraptastic crocheter and my name is Amanda. Today I want to show you a quick and easy tutorial on how to make my sunflower coasters. And this is the national flower of Ukraine. So I made these thinking about Ukraine, and that's also why you have this blue flower here. You can of course make these in any color you want, but the sunflowery colors are the more browns and yellows, of course. And I've done them in 3 different sizes here, and this largest one I did with a 3mm crochet hook. I have used 2.5mm crochet hook for these ones, and this smallest is a 2mm crochet hook. And just for size reference, the smallest, and I'm looking at these inner, the flat part, so up till this yellowy or golden color, and not the ruffled flowery edge or petally edge. And here we have about 6.5cm on the smallest, and here we have a little bit over 7, almost 7.5cm, and the last one here is about 8cm ish. So just so that you have a little bit of a feeling on the size. So I only changed the sizing of the crochet hook. The yarn is the same. I have used a mix of yarn. I have Hopi Rainbow 8.4. I have a Yarn Art Ideal. This is also the same 8.4 quality, and that's also Yarn Art. I know I used some other, I just have a little ball left, but I know it was another brand. And I do have also, this is Black Sheep, sort of året, and Cotton 8.4 that I got today just because I ran out of brown. And you'll see that I have done this in a chef way or kitchen style way, cooking video. I will be showing you bits and pieces, and trying to do this unedited or like one take. So I will first just show you what you need. I'm gonna do this with a 2.5mm crochet hook. I have a scissor, nothing special with that. And I'm gonna start. I was planning on doing brown center, but I know that the brown is not showing up very well on camera. So for this video, I might as well just go for yellow and call it another kind of sunflower, or make it inverted, starting with the lightest color in the middle and working the other way around. Maybe, I don't know, maybe that could be fun. Scissors don't need to be there. And I'm just gonna show you pretty fast what I'm doing. It's really easy and simple. So we're going to start by making a slip knot, pulling it tight, and all you need to know is chains and double crochets. So first we're chaining 4, 3 and 4. This is very simple, and I'm going to slip stitch in the beginning, chain here, like, it's almost a little tricky in the beginning, like so. So I have a little bit of a mini circle. If I go digging, I can find the center of this. And from here I'm going to chain 3, 1, 2 and 3. This counts as my first double crochet, and together with this and some more, go into the center here. I'm gonna do 11 more for a total of 12. So here we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And if you're unsure, just count them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. What I didn't say I did now, because I do it automatically, while I crocheted in this center, I also crocheted over the tail. And since the tail is trapped underneath all these stitches, when I pull the tail, this hole will close up, almost like a magic circle, but it's a little bit more of a secure way to make a magic circle, since I did the chains and then crocheted over the tail. I will still sew this in a little bit to make sure that it doesn't go anywhere, or like the hole grows bigger. So even though I crocheted over it a couple of times, it just makes me feel a bit more secure on keeping the hole tight. So from here I'm going to find the top of the chain 3 that we made, and I'm going to slip stitch into that top like so. Pull it tight a little bit, and now I'm going to chain 3 again, and into the same stitch I'm going to do one more double crochet like so. And in the next one I will make 2 double crochets. And if you're familiar with crocheting circles, you will know that this is also going to be 2 double crochets in this next stitch. Making circles that is flat has a little bit of a recipe to it. So on this round we're going to make 2 double crochets in every stitch all the way around. And also a personal preference, if you prefer to do a chain 2 instead of a chain 3, that is totally fine. A lot of times I do chain 2 because my chains feel a bit loose, so I do chain 2s quite often. I can tell that these holes here are a little bit bigger than I might like, so chain 2 is probably what I should have gone for. But 2 double crochets in each on this round. On the first round we had a stitch count of 12, and now we're going to have a stitch count of 24 because we're doubling it up. So you get the idea here, I think. I'm almost done here at the end, and I'm yet again going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 here like so. It's a bit tight, but it's doable. And another chain 3 or 2, and from here we're going to put another double crochet in the same stitch. So we have 2 in the first one, and then in the next 1 double crochet, and in the next from there we're going to put 2 double crochets. So do you see the pattern? 1 in each, 2 in each, 2, 1, 2, 1, and 2 in the next. And just to save time, I think this is going to be easy enough for you. So 12 stitches and then 2 in every one, adding this up to 24. And on the next we have 2 in the first, 1, 2, 1, 2. And the row after will be 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Okay? So when you have 4 rounds done, it should be looking like this. So I started here doing the first and the second and the beginning of the third row with you, but I'm gonna jump here since it is pretty easy and I'm working on getting the written pattern out to you. But since I'm not getting Ravelry to work with me, I am doing this YouTube video just so that I can share this pattern as fast as I can. And it's so simple, I'm pretty sure that you're gonna be able to make it work with this. It's a flat circle, 1, 2 in each, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. It's simple. Okay, I'm just gonna jump in and pick up, I don't know, what color should I take? They're both gorgeous, so, yeah, I'm just taking this since I have an easy start bowl on it. I'm just gonna get rid of that and get me some yarn. And I can show you. I'm actually gonna just untie this a bit. When I got to this part where I am finished this round, I cut my yarn and I pulled it through. So I pulled it out, and here you have I did chain 2 here, but I did the chains and then I have the first double crochet. So the first one that counts as a double crochet, but the chains, and this is the first double crochet. That's where I, from the back, going under both loops, put my crochet hook in, and then I take this yarn tail and just wrap it around so that I can easily fish it through. Okay, and then I go into this last stitch that I made from the back and fishing the yarn through from that way also. When I do that, I hope you can see this, but when I do that and pull it close, it's like you can't really tell where the stitches are because the V's are in perfect shape up here now. So that's a hidden closure, just to finish this as a perfect circle. So jumping into the next yarn here, I'm doing a slip stitch, slip knot, and here it's also optional if you prefer to pull your yarn through and loop it up. You can go in like this, and you can just, don't look at my hook here, but you could pull the yarn up like this. So you pull up a loop and then like chain 1 and tighten it off. That's one way to start. I prefer doing standing double crochets, so that's what I'm doing. I'm yarning over once, holding on so that this knot is not going anywhere, and I'm looking at where I have that. I'm gonna keep that to the side here, but I'm gonna pop in here and make sure that it's looped over. So just doing a double crochet like normal, okay, and another one. So you'll see it's looking just like any double crochet. It just has this knot here, otherwise it's just the same. So just to get the this is what we're going for. Okay, so at this moment I'm just starting with the 2 double crochets, and I'm gonna make a third one. Remember, we had 2 between the increases on the last round, so now we're gonna have 3 in between on this round. So in this stitch we're putting 2, so we're going 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3, and increasing here with 2 in this same one here. So the repeat for this row is 3 increase, 3 increase all the way around. And then when you get back here to the beginning, you can easily do just what I did. And I have 2 double crochets here in the last stitch. If I pull this out here, it's the last on this row is 2 double crochets, since we started with the 3 first. So then you know you're right. And to fasten this off without this knot showing, the knot is the first stitch, and then the second stitch is where I put my crochet hook in. Okay, and I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna fish the yarn through, and then I'm gonna go into the last stitch that we made on this round and fish the yarn through again. And by doing this and making sure I fold this down a little bit on the back, just so I can get the threads I'm working with right now on top to show, or to hide the knot here. So that's a pretty easy way to hide it. Something I like to do, just because this is a little bit floppy, I like to take these 2 yarn ends and just make a little bit of a knot, because that pulls it in. Not a really tight one, just to keep it in. And when I get here, I will go over this yarn end here. I didn't mention that on this one here, but I crochet the yarn ends in as much as I can to save myself from having to weave in all the ends at the end. So most of them I just go over as I work my way around. But we're here now, and now the fun begins. Okay, we have done first 4 rows in one color, and then a 5th color, or 5th row in another color. And from here we are picking a new color, otherwise we wouldn't cut the yarn. And let's go for this yellow, because I haven't opened this yet. Let's see, will we get the biggest yarn barf ever, or is this gonna be nice to work with? I like to go in from both ends like this to see if I can find what end is most decent to work with. And let's see, what do we have it there? We have an end. Magic fingers, no yarn barf. Nice. So now I am going to make a little knot again, like so, and I'm gonna start on this side, just so I'll work over those when I get there. Oh, slippery. Yet again, I'm going to do a standing double crochet, so yarn over and insert my hook in anywhere really, and do my double crochet. I'm going to make 2 more, 1 and 2, and now chain 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and a double crochet in the next. So I'm not jumping any stitches, I'm only making the chain, and then I'm continuing with 3 double crochets in total, just after each other like this, so that you get this loop but no stitches are missed. And chain 4 again, 3 and 4, and into the next we're doing double crochets again, 3 of them, and 1, 2, 3, 4 chains, 3 double crochets. There's a little yarn tail from the browns wanting to play with us, poking its way up from the back. So what you're getting here is this pattern of bubbles or holes, and that's exactly what we're looking for. This is the beginning of the petals and also the beginning of the ruffle edge. So 4 and into the next here we're doing 3 more. It's optional if you want to add more chains, if you feel like your chains are feeling tight. If you want more ruffle edge, let's see here. I'm gonna show you the difference because this blue one is actually different. This is more ruffly than the other ones. The ruffles are feeling a little bit stiffer and tighter, and that has to do with the fact that there's more double crochets on each petal. I have chained 5, and then I have 5 double crochets on each side of the petal, which makes the ruffles wanting to ruffle up more. These are flatter. I'm not sure if that's visible on the camera really, but it's definitely not a flat edge on this, and this is not as wild, so perhaps it is. Yeah, you can tell the difference. So they are stiffer, and the chains are, I did chain more on these because I wanted to try and see what it looks like. If you don't want it to ruffle up as much, you could do chain 4 or 5 but less stitches on the petals. So I'm sorry about that, and you might have heard the squeak. It's from my chair. So I'm going to just show you another here. 4 and 3 double crochets. And just to save us some time, I am doing this very much like a cooking show. I have prepared the next step also, so I'm moving that aside. See here, we have, I'm not even using that, but this cooking show is just bits and pieces. I hope you get the picture out of this and that you're able to follow this pattern, even though it's not like a full tutorial with every step all the way from beginning to end, because it's quite a lot of stitches, and going all the way around all of them is probably not what you want to spend your time watching. I think you'd rather make them instead, because that's more fun. And of course I had to try it in a blue color with different types of blue. So here is what it looks like when you finished this round, and I have left to do the 4 chains and slip stitch into my first standing double crochet here. So a slip stitch into there. And since this is the petal, the finishing round, it is a bit different. But from here, I'm going to slip stitch in the top of the next double crochet and also in the next double crochet. So I'm slip stitching my way and also into the chain space. This is the chain space. The big hole that we created on the previous round is called chain space. From here I'm going to chain 3 and I'm going to do 3 double crochets, 1, 2, 3 double crochets. And I'm gonna move them a little bit to the side because this is only half the petal. And now I'm gonna make a picot. And a picot is made by 1, 2, 3 chains. And going back in this first chain with my crochet hook, picking up the yarn, and then slip stitching into the top of the 3 chains. So it's folding itself over on itself. And then we made 3 plus the chains on the first side of the petal, and the first one was counting as a double crochet, so that's 4, which means we're doing 4 double crochets on this side. That's number 3, and now we have number 4. And that's how the petal looks. And it's nice and flat now, but it will ruffle up when we have more petals to fight for the space. And we're only working in the chain spaces, so we've completed the first petal and yarn over and make the next double crochet into the next chain space. And here we make 4 in total on this side, 3 and 4 double crochets. And on top here we're making the picot again, so chain 3 into the first of these 3 chains, pick the yarn up and slip stitch, and make 4 more double crochets on the other side of this petal. So here we have 2, 3 and 4, like so. And I believe that the picots might be the trickiest thing to figure out if you haven't done them before. But we're doing another repeat here again. 1, 2, 3 and 4. And let's see, I'm gonna alter my light a little bit, see if I can get close here. So when I make 1, 2, 3 chains, and then I go into the first, so I have the last and the first on my hook, yarn over and pull through, slip stitching. And this is the final round. So when you have completed this, you just fasten off, and it's optional on if you want to try and make it like the invisible joins that we've done. Let's see, I'm gonna see, I did finish all of them. Can I see where I joined them, where I started and finished? I'm not sure I can find the beginning and end on these. I don't think I did the invisible. Did I do that on this? I might have. I think I've gone all the way around. by now. I can't figure out. Yeah, I must have done invisible on that one. Probably, maybe, I don't know. But you can fasten off as in any way you like, really. Since it is in the middle of where the two petals meet, because we started on this side here, so when we get back to the other side, you'll have the last of the double crochets on this side, and then you just either invisible join it to the double crochets there, or you just fasten it off with a regular knot if that's what you normally do. I think I must have invisible joined these seams because I can't seem to find them. Looking at the back because it's easier to look at the back, but I love the pattern. I hope you enjoy making it too. Please let me know if you try them. You can take pictures, share on my Instagram. I will link my Instagram in the box below. And I hope that this is easy enough for you to understand my little quick tutorial. I didn't want to rush it like too much, but I want it to be as easy and save myself some editing time, because otherwise it would probably take a couple of more weeks or so before I got it up, because I have a video that I'm editing and that one is just taking forever, because me and editing are not really friends just yet. I'm working on it. So I didn't get to use my fancy scissor or anything, but I love it either way. I will continue working on these little starting buds or so that I made here, and I hope to flood my Instagram with sunflowers because they are really cheerful and gorgeous, and it brightens up my day. So please share what you've made, and if you try any other colors, I know it will be gorgeous. Like, imagine these as reds and pinks and just spring flower colors. It doesn't necessarily have to be a sunflower just because they're quite pointy. I didn't see any point of blocking these because I don't want them to lay flat, but I did go around and just put my fingers on this pointy edge and pull at them a little bit to get them extra pointy. So I did that all the way around to get them to perk up a little bit. And they're perfect and ready for you to put your coffee mugs or glass or anything on them. And depending on what size you use of the crochet hooks, they will be larger and smaller. I think this is a pretty good way to show it. And also you can double them up like this. That could actually be really cute if you're having like a fancier dinner party or so. You take a smaller one and put it on the bigger one, and then you put your glass on it. It looks very good next to a plate and setting like that. So enjoy. Please leave a comment, subscribe, like, all that fun stuff, and I hope to see you here really soon. Have a great rest of your evening or day or morning or wherever, what time it is when you are watching this. Please, thank you, bye bye.